Okay, we'll try to be short and succinct.
Yeah, she'll slow me down.
We're gonna go to my favorite extreme skier, base jumper, pioneer, Super Frenchie. You're up.
Hi, Gabby. Hi, Laird. We actually have a lot of friends in common, and it's really good to finally talk to you. I had a question because I'm a pretty obsessive, driven person as well. You know, you don't want to achieve audacious goals without being extremely diligent and stubborn. So you're speaking about dreams and not being a has-been or living with the past version of yourself and constantly recreating. How do you align obsession, like individual obsessions and objectives, with your common path? Because, you know, you're two super driven individuals. How do you align that? Because that can be kind of tricky, right? You know, and like, you know, like Laird's talking about, like, you know, being a lab, always chasing his ball. Like, how do you align your ball with his ball?
I don't think I try. I think you know, that's a really good question. I think it's an interesting thing where one thing Laird and I are really fortunate is maybe it's a good choice for one another, because I'm very comfortable being in a more kind of still place and just being here to support Laird. And Laird also gives me the confidence, like, hey, Gabby, you want to go out in the world and do the thing? Yeah, I got you. And so maybe the commonplace is the dinner table, our coffee in the morning, the bonding around our family. But then there's this kind of real understanding and support of go chase your ball. And however I can help you, if it's pack your suitcase, book your flight, or just, you know, tell you, you know, I love you and I hope you have a great time. So I think we do it differently for one another because we need different things. But it's also never thinking that the person's pursuit is in lieu of their love for you. But what that means is that then when you're together, you're present, you're listening. And I think that gives the other person a lot of comfort and power so that they're not into conflict.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of say it in my way, which is, we're saying the same thing, but it's like Gabby's pursuit and Gabby's career isn't taking from me. Right. And my pursuit isn't taking from her. She's not saying, oh, you got to go out and ride that wave. And, oh, you're going to go there now. So we never put that pressure on one another. And then for me personally, I would go back to priorities, back to what's important. Number one thing, I'm her lover. I'm her lover. I'm her husband. I'm a father. And then that father, lover, husband, that's the most important thing for me. Then goes to Laird, the big wave rider, that actually helps me be a better lover, husband, father. Mm-hmm. Because I get, you know what, we have a saying, you know, you go get happy and I'll go get happy and we'll come back together. Mm-hmm. And then we'll be happy. But if I'm relying on her to make me happy, mm-hmm. I can barely do it myself. How can I rely on her? and how could I behave in a way that would make it's like hey, go figure out what it is that you need to do, whether, hey, get a workout, pursue your career, ride a giant wave, whatever those things are. So I think that's been something that but again, for me, I think it's about priorities, what's important. And that, like, I'm Laird that goes surfing that's great. And I can ride giant waves and do all these other crazy things that I want to do. But that's not the foundation. The foundation is I'm her partner. I'm her husband. I'm the father of my daughters. And then after comes those things. I'm not the surfer, big wave rider, and then I'm a dad and a thing like that. So again, but that's all about your alignment with what your spiritual alignment is, what your personal alignment is, and then, you know, and how do you, and then figure out how to get there if you're not there.
That makes it easy. It makes it easy. Makes it easy for the partner.
That's great. That reminds me of the quote from Carl Jung, who said the greatest tragedy of a family is the unlived lives of the parents.
And, well, that is no joke.
Yeah.
And I think moms are more guilty of that than dads.
Yeah. When I think we put that on the burden on the kid too, that's a tragedy because we put that on the children.
Yeah.
Because if you say, hey, you know, I used to do that, but somebody goes, oh yeah, now that you have kids, you don't ride big waves. And I go, well, no, that's not, if I don't want to ride big waves, it has nothing to do with them. And why would I put that burden on them? Like, what did they didn't ask to come in like, hey, I'll be your child. And then you'll have an excuse to not do what you do. Just say you don't want to do it. Don't say, hey, now that I have kids, I'm not doing it. Cause I don't think that's not fair to the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain toxicity to the lack of fulfillment. You know, if you're blooming and fulfilled as an individual, you can use that as power of intention when you're home, and having your existential pillars in place and avoiding decision fatigue. So I'm selfishly kind of cross-referencing, making sure I'm doing it right because you guys are killing it. So thank you for sharing.
Well,
I appreciate
listen, we're fumbling through, and I'll end it with Matthias that Laird, you know, our youngest daughter is now at university, but they're, you know, you're driving kids to school, you're cooking dinner every night, and you're actually doing that too. So it makes it easier. Like you're really doing it. You're not phoning that part in.
Yeah. And you can show them what it looks like. You can show them what passion, what a pursuit looks like. Like here it is. This is what does my dad look like? What does my mom look like after she's doing what she does? And how does that make her feel? Because then they have at least a template to find out. Like I just tell my girls, find your special purpose, find the thing that gives you passion, that you're driven for. Because then you won't look at the clock. You won't be like, well, I've been doing this for 10 minutes. You'll be like, I'm just in pursuit. And I think that you'll, you know, and then you potentially could find some sort of fulfillment if that's possible on the planet.
Yeah. Passion, communicated vision,
You're up.
and pragmatism. Sorry. Okay.